Welcome back to another episode of Ndeipi MuDiaspora. It's been a while, ladies. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Good. I'm really excited about today's episode because we're talking about going to the motherland. Right. Okay, so for some of us, we went back to Zimbabwe. Charmaine went to South Africa for the first time.
Hello,
I made it back, y'all.
And you're looking real good.
I know. Y'all cannot tell me I'm not African. I came back.
Oh, girl.
I'm like natural hair, head tie, whole skirt. I was like, oh, I went home. I got my people.
Okay. That's good. You look really good.
You do.
Well, I have a question for you ladies, okay, in regards to going home. So when you all go home, do you feel as though you fit in, or do you feel as though you sometimes experience a cultural identity shock moment? You know, spill the deets.
Don't hold back, ladies.
Let us know.
Well, I guess for me, we went back in August.
Okay.
It was an entire family trip, so like my kids, my husband, and my brother, all his kids. Okay, like we had like 20 pieces of luggage, right?
Oh, wow.
So finding accommodation for all of us was kind of difficult, right?
Yeah.
But we wanted something that was, you know, central, something that was, of course, clean, that could accommodate the little kids, right? Because the kids, we wanted to be able to cook for ourselves. So, you know, the kids here, I mean, my kids want mac and cheese. You know, there's certain dietary things that they wanted and their sleep schedule and everything. So little did I know that it was deemed as disrespectful or rude that I didn't stay with family or family friends, you know, because of that. They're like, oh, we're family, you know, everyone can, you know, squeeze in, we'll make room, you know, we can sleep on the floor and things like that. I'm like, you know what, I think there was a little bit of cultural clash from that because of just what we were used to vacationing versus what people back home and family expect, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're rude.
I was rude.
Girl, you're wrong for that. What did your dad and sister say?
Yeah, they were just like, I don't know whose child she is. Mom was like, child is this?
Because you know those are the first critics in the family. Your dad's sisters.
No, just say, "Mom, Daddy came."
Yeah, I know. My salad. Yeah, that's, yeah.
Okay.
With me, first of all, I had a great time. When I was home. Great time. The sunshine was beautiful. The food, always right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a daughter, you know, who's American. She was born here. And the last time we went, she was a little younger. Now we went and she was 14. So she knows a lot of stuff, you know. So there was a lot of stuff that was difficult for her and very disconnected. But with me, I had like, when I was planning my trip to go home, because we were going to a wedding and stuff, and I was talking to my friends back home, I was like, I'm coming, I'll be there, we can hang out, we can, you know, because I see social media popping and they're doing all these amazing things, you know, and I'm thinking like, I'm going to do all these things when I get to Zimbabwe. When we got there, couldn't find my friends.
MIA.
And my daughter's like, Mom, why aren't we going to all your friends' houses that we're doing all these things? I'm like, they're just not available for me. And I get things come up, but that was my disappointment and disconnection. You know, I was like, this is like, where are my people at? You know,
The promises.
Because I am the same person. Maybe I might have put on a few pounds. But I am the same person. Like, I feel like I am still that girl from Zimbabwe who can do and eat anything. And hey, I'm even wearing my
Zim shirt.
Yeah, I feel like I'm that same person. But yeah, there was that kind of, you know, disconnection. And I was like, I felt so sad because I really wanted to, I mean, I had a good time, but I really wanted to hang, you know, with my friends. But you know, family was there, family was great, you know, and family was so loving and really sweet, and they didn't expect anything. With everything that's going on, that was one thing. They were not saying, can I have the, no, they were just like, if you give it to me, you do, if you don't, you don't.
Right.
Like, people are just at that point now. Yeah.
Good. I was like, okay, first, so just because I never been to Africa before, right? And I never been to South Africa, but going there, I was just like expecting it to be more like, you know, Black Power. And I was like, oh, the colonizer's still here. No, there was so many white people. Like, I was like, oh, shoot, I'm in Canada. Okay, that's how I really felt. I was a cultural shock there. But there was black people too. I'm like, I think there was more black people in Johannesburg, but in Cape Town,
Right, Cape Town is all white people.
yeah, like Johannesburg looked like Brooklyn sometimes, and then like Cape Town was like Miami Beach. I was like, oh, okay, I see, but it was good. But like, I guess for me, going back home is like Canada. So the first time I went back home, the culture shock that I had was just like, I'm from the hood, right? And then now I have like a decent job, and I went back home, and it's just a little bit awkward because you're trying to be the same person that you were. I'm not this hood girl, right? But now I got a corporate job, so I'm like, I can't be hood at work, you know what I mean? So then it's just like having to like do this code switching with my friends and be like, nah, I'm still real though. And they're all like, yo, how much money you make an hour? I was like, I'm on salary. And they're like, what's a salary? And then you feel like awkward because I'm not trying to be condescending.
Right.
It's like, but I know more, so I'm telling you more. But I still love you. I'm still trying to like Burgundy, what up? That's my neighborhood. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, but I can relate to both of that because I got the feeling that people felt like I was coming in almost judging. Like I got that sense that people didn't think it was just me. And I feel like Sneaky Way as well. It's like, I'm just me. I just want to hang out with my friends. I want to do the same things. I've missed home. I want to be home. I want to enjoy home. But there was a little bit of like pushback. Yeah, reservation. And that really made me sad. But I just wanted people to know, like, I'm still what's up from the Zim. But like Sneaky Way said, I mean, family, amazing. The food, I mean.
Can't even trade that.
Yeah. Yes. And Charmaine, I'm interested in knowing, what was your favorite thing about South Africa?
Like, honestly, I just like the scenery. Like, honestly, Cape Town is so
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, we went to, I don't even know the name, Lion Head?
Maybe.
Lion Mountains. I don't like, it's like Lion something. And then we went to
Table Mountain.
Table Mountain, Lion's Head or something, a lion or a symbol. I'm just joking, I don't know. A Lion King, I don't remember. No, okay. But, and like, it was just so beautiful. I don't even hike and stuff like that, but we were like hiking.
Oh,
just
yeah.
to see this. I took all these nice, amazing pictures, which I need to post. But I like the scenery. Like, I'm like, I would so live here. Like, it's
Cape
so
Town is just
beautiful.
gorgeous, like ridiculous.
It's very
And we went to like the high point, and we're like the Indian Ocean.
Yes.
Meet the Atlantic Ocean. You're like, I wasn't really that good at geography. It's like Atlantic on the side. Yeah. And it meets over there. I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. So like, I really enjoyed that.
What airline did you take?
Oh, I flew Qatar Airways, and I was in business class. So all my air miles, all paid by air miles, but they didn't know that, right? No, actually, they probably did know that. I was in the front, like, ooh, how do you use this? I was like, okay, so all the way back, oh, like a sleeve. And the lady was like, you could tell she was like, this girl. So she's like, yeah, just press this button. I was like, oh, can you get a picture of me? I was like, I'm all fake sleeping.
Because people do that.
I would.
I was doing that. I was doing the most.
So we flew Emirates.
We did. You know what? I love Emirates. I've flown Emirates before, and I love Emirates in comparison to some of the other airlines we've used, but I got food poisoning on my last flight into Zimbabwe.
Yeah, when we got in,
like,
she couldn't even sign her papers.
food
I was
poisoning.
busy there writing out her papers. She was like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Like 3 days I was out. 3 days into the trip, I was out.
Well, I flew Ethiopian, which wasn't bad. But the only thing is, if you're not Ethiopian, like you won't get first in line, or you won't get the milk if you ask for milk, or the banana if you ask for banana, but the Ethiopians will get the banana. You know what I mean? You're like, didn't you just tell me there was no banana? So other than that, everything was fine. Yeah.
For me, Emirates. Okay, so we flew Emirates. First of all, I don't like flying. Yeah, I really don't, and I think I was sick. And I don't eat on flights because if I eat, then I have. I didn't eat from Dallas to Dubai. Oh wow. We got to Dubai. Dubai was beautiful.
It was
nice,
amazing.
Very nice. Everything is there. Like Dubai is really nice. People need to go to Dubai.
Very Americanized.
Like, it was nice.
Though.
And Musa laughed at me. All I got was Khalifa. That's all I got, girl.
I said, where are we going? And she said, we're going to the Wiz Khalifa.
Okay, that's why I was like, when you say Khalifa, I was like, what's that? I was like,
I'm like, you mean the Burj Khalifa? She's like, girl, any Khalifa. We going. She was a mess with
But Emirates, it's good. But honestly, I prefer South African Airlines.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
South Africa treats
yeah.
you right.
South Africa know how to
Feeds
treat
good.
you, honey. So if you ever want to fly, fly South Africa.
Yes, you know what? We'd love to hear from all of you guys. If you've traveled home recently, what's it been like? Do you feel like you fit in? Do you feel like you kind of experienced that culture shock as well? So let us know, okay? And coming up soon, we have one of our favorite, okay, because we got another favorite right here. Okay, one of our favorite comedians, Alfred Kainga, coming up next.
Again with our favorite comedian. Second favorite, because we have a female comedian on the show.
Don't forget who plugged you in.
Oh!
I better be the first.
How are you, Alfred?
I'm great, ladies. How you doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm so excited to be here, even though it's early.
Oh, yeah. How's our little baby?
She's doing great. She just turned a year old.
Congratulations.
Beautiful, you know, looking lovely.
Fatherhood is looking good on you.
It is. It got me more responsibilities. You know.
Okay.
I don't sleep.
Oh, yeah.
I don't sleep no more. I love it. I love it though.
Good.
You know, Alfred, you're like the Diddy. You're like the Diddy to our show.
I like that.
Diddy was on TRL like multiple times.
Okay.
Here you are. Come back on season 2.
I think me and Diddy, we even share a birthday too.
Oh, you do? There you go.
So we got the same mentality. We go get us. We Scorpios, and I just need this money.
Y'all do this, you guys. You got to give Alfred that?
That's good.
So Alfred, do you remember when we first met? Do you remember?
Gosh.
It had to do with a back wheel.
That's right.
Do you remember?
That's right. That was almost 10 years ago, right?
10
Yeah.
Really? So
Yeah.
you all have known each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what I used to do is I used to sell vacuum cleaners.
Okay.
You know, the curvy
There's
vacuum
nothing wrong with
cleaners.
that.
There better not be nothing wrong.
There is absolutely.
It was a $3,000 vacuum cleaner.
Exactly.
Yes.
Did it come with a direct line to
It
Jesus?
came with everything. Spray painted.
balloons?
It did that. Yeah, it shampooed your car. It even spray painted the house. Yeah. So it was crazy. $3,000 machine. So I went to their house. I knocked on the door and they let me in. And you know, I started doing that whole thing where you throw baking soda on the floor and you try to pick it up with their machine, and of course their machine couldn't do it. And then I came over with my Kirby, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, we won one!" Yeah. And then we used to go to church together.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah, we shared, we sung together.
Sung together.
Let me hear you kids.
Come on now.
Give us a note.
Good morning. Too early to be doing this, but I'm here. All the great singers gotta move their lips.
We got talent.
That's why I can't sing. I get
But that must be nice to see Alfred from there to where he is now.
Yeah, to see him from the vacuum cleaners, telling the jokes, to now on stage and around the world telling jokes is amazing.
It really is, and I'm very appreciative for everything that has happened. You know, it's funny. You know, I didn't think it was gonna get this big. You know, but we ain't there yet. You know, so just to let everybody know, yes, I'm working hard, I'm doing great, but don't come borrow money from me. People think that, oh, he's doing big, they hit you up. Hey, man, can I talk to you for a second? When you get that, hey, man, can I talk to you for a second? You know they want to borrow money.
You already know.
That is so crazy.
Well, earlier in the show, we were talking about our experiences going home.
Yeah.
Because we were all recently in Zimbabwe and South Africa.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to know from you also recently in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And when you go home, do you feel like you fit in, or do you feel like you kind of experience some identity, cultural shock?
Well, after being away from home for so long, 18, 19 years, a part of you kind of loses that.
Yeah.
So it's a fact. I've been living in the States for a long time, but when I go back home, I try to re-assimilate myself. Now I do connect with the people because hey, I'll never forget my language, so I still speak the native language all day, every day, right? Yeah. I still eat the food, the sadza and mazondo, and everything. I like that. But then there's some things that have changed. I woke up one day, 2 o'clock in the morning, and the lights were gone. And I'm looking at my auntie like, well, you didn't pay the light bill? She said, yeah, we did. The whole country's shut down right now, So this is things that I wasn't used to. Different things like we had to drive down 5 miles to go get fresh water. And I wasn't used to that when I grew up in Zimbabwe back in the day. But things have changed, so those are the things that, it's like, take me back to Dallas. Been here for 3 weeks. I love you, Granny, but I got to go.
That's so true, though, because the way it is now is not how we grew up.
Right.
So there is going to be adjustments.
Yeah, there you go. But the interaction with the people is always great. The Zimbabwean people, they always warm at heart. I love that. I love going back home to that. But they are used to the changes. Right. Because when the changes happen, they're right there on the ground. But for us, it's like, ooh, what do you mean?
It shakes you up a little bit.
It really does. It really does. What do you mean I gotta take a bucket instead of a shower? I can't make a little bicycle. You pick up that bucket.
Put a bucket curl.
In a nice bathtub. I ain't playing.
Oh yeah, bathtubs are nice.
Bathtub be nice, but just
Y'all have bathtubs?
Yeah. You better stop it.
No, I'm not even. Okay, remember my parents are from Guyana, and my cousins don't have bathtubs.
They don't?
I went to one of my cousins. I went to his house because he lived in a nice house. I was like, you got a bathtub? I was so shocked. I'm not even joking. I was like, you got a whole bathtub? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, ain't got my hand. I was like, yes. He's the only one. So.
Wow, we had that. See, because when we grew up then, we had, everything was great. The running water, hot bubble baths. My mama used to hate it when I filled up the water.
Oh my God.
And she's like, are you swimming? Are you taking swimming lessons in my house? Do you pay the water here?
Exactly. That was us. So recently, Trevor Noah went to South Africa.
Yeah.
We like us some Trevor Noah.
Yes.
We love us some Alfred Moore.
Yeah.
And he was there with the South African president.
I saw that.
Isn't that just nice?
That was
when you
wonderful.
come up here, you do all this amazing work, and then you're able to actually go in there and talk to your leader, and your leader says, thank you for doing such a great job. Was that your experience?
Heck no.
Oh.
Okay. Why did you have to bring that up?
Were you traumatized?
Extremely.
It's okay.
Yeah, can I hold on?
You can have one session.
Yes. That was amazing. And when I saw that, when I saw the whole thing with Trevor Noah and Cyril Ramaphosa, my episode had already happened. See, because I went home. And I was so excited about the whole new dispensation, freedom of speech, everything is open, we're open for business.
Right. That's what
my business is comedy. I make people laugh with any subject matter that's available.
Right.
Okay.
So I go home and I had done a few shows like all over the place.
We came to your show.
Yeah, you did. It was nice. It was really nice.
I came to your show too.
Yeah, you did. That was in Cape Town.
In Cape Town,
Yeah, you were supposed to perform. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, So I've done shows in Nigeria, Uganda, South Africa. So then the last stop for that tour was Zimbabwe. The show was great, but as I noticed the situation that was on the ground, there were some things that were just going on that needed to be addressed.
Okay.
So the best way for me to address stuff is through comedy. People are suffering on the ground. There's no fuel shortages. I was in a fuel line one day from 5 a.m. till 3 p.m. No joke. Didn't get no gas. So I was like, we gotta make fun of this situation. Doctors are on strike, teachers are on strike. So we did. We created a skit. It was a skit. No names were mentioned.
Okay.
Just political satire. We didn't call out anybody out, but people decided to decipher what this skit meant. It went viral. We had like over 100,000 views in 3 days.
Really?
Now, that was great. Then the phone calls started coming in. Man, that skit y'all did. Be careful. And some were saying, man, don't worry about it. This is a new dispensation. You are fine. It's going to be okay. But that was on Thursday when we dropped it. That Monday, the guy that I did the skit with, he gets a call from the authorities.
Oh, wow.
And they went and they picked him up.
Oh, was that serious?
Oh, it was for real serious.
Oh, right.
So he gets picked up and they go to the Central Intelligence Office, whatever they call it, you know, and he's there and they asked him to call me. And so he calls me. I'm on my way to a radio station for an interview.
Right.
So he calls me on video, and I'm like, this dude has never called me on video.
This is something you see on Lifetime.
You know what I mean? And I was my cousin, and I'm like, yo, he is calling me on video, something is up.
Using his data.
So sure enough, I answered, because you know, people don't call video in Zimbabwe just like that.
Right.
It costs a lot of money. So I knew he wasn't using his money at this point.
Right. I was like, you
He is using the authorities' money. You know? They got strong Wi-Fi.
It was quick. It picked up the video. Ain't no buffer.
Nothing. So I answered, and there was no word said for a good 5-10 seconds. He just looked at me and I looked at him. And he looked at me and I looked at him and my heart just sank.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my gosh. And he's like, Alfred, where you at, bro? I'm like, where am I at? Why?
Disclose your location.
Yeah, disclose your location. I was like, I'm in the city, what's going on? He said, man, send me your location, I want to come see you. You want to come see me? Man, I don't owe you no money.
Okay.
And he said, no, man. And he was real shady about it, very evasive. And I just hung up. I called my cousin, I said, they got it. They got it. So then he called again. And I answered. He said, come on, man, let me know where you at. I need to come see you. I said, bro, I'm not telling you where I'm at. I hung up. At this point, I'm in a panic frenzy. I'm calling everybody. I called all my friends over here.
Right?
Like you. I said, if you don't find me in 3 days, get on CNN, BBC, get on the Food Channel. Alert somebody. Because it's about to go down. So the third call came in, and it was one of the officers. They said, hey, let me tell you something. Here in Zimbabwe, the government offices, they close at 5 p.m. And it was 3:45. He says, if you don't get here by 5, you are spending the night here. Oh. So you better hurry on up. Man, I was in a panic, you know. So I called some people, you know, some influential people out there. They said, go, ain't nothing gonna happen to you. It's a new dispensation, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, but if it is, then why am I even going there in the first place? At this point, I got about 4 days left for me to come over here.
You're counting those hours.
Yes, I am. So I went. And I left all my IDs, you know, I left my cell phone. I had a Zimbabwean cell phone that I was using, so I took it, and I left my iPhone and everything. I just walked in there back. And as soon as I walked in, they got this way of intimidating people, you know. As soon as I walked in and somebody announced that Alfred was here, all of them came out, you know. They were all clapping hands. Oh, the big boy is here.
Oh my God.
And I just knew I'm gonna have 5 fingers left on my arm. I just knew I was just gonna be roasted, you know. All these stories that you hear, the crazy stories, alligators, all that stuff, you know, I'm thinking, oh, that's gonna be me. But I went into, and there was a girl that we did the skit with. She was in the interrogation room at that time, and they were grilling her. She was like hyperventilating, and I'm like, and they say something, so they say something like, has anybody beat you up yet? What? You haven't been beat up yet. we're gonna be done with you. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get beat up. But they grilled us, man. Why did you do this skit? Who were you talking to? I said, it was just a funny skit. I make funny jokes about everybody. And one of the officers, she was smart with me. She said, so you trying to be famous by our president? I said, ma'am, I'm already famous. I don't need your president to be famous. I'm already. Yes. She said, I don't know you. I said, it's just you. Google me. I've done some things, you know, but I was really scared though. They know how to do it. Yeah, I was really, you know,
the law is the law.
The law is the law.
Yeah.
So, but I asked them, what law have we broken? Have we broken any law here? If we have, then I have to contact my lawyers and let my embassy know. I'm using that whole thing now. My embassy. Oh, and they just thought I was just being a smart mouth. But they let us go. And so, you know, it was safe. However, there was a condition. We had to do another skit.
Oh, what?
A corrective.
Yeah, like to change the narrative, to be kind of, you know, corrective and be nice to the authorities. And it sucked. It was terrible.
I was gonna say, that didn't go viral, did it?
No, it didn't. And as a matter of fact, when we posted it, people were like, oh, you guys were busted. Oh, something happened to you. So the masses knew. The masses knew. Which was really sad because as a comedian, we don't get to be told what to say, how to say it. We create our own content. So it was tough for all of us to even create that. And we did it in one take. And we're like, is it good? And we're like, we don't care. Send it.
Right.
I guess one of my questions was the political satire does seem to be under attack, not even just in Zimbabwe, but also, you know, we know Trump and the Correspondents' Dinner or Kathy Griffin and things like that. So we would hope that the relationship is more like a Trevor Noah as opposed to some of the other countries that have.
And if you watch my comedy, I hardly do political satire. Hardly ever. And so for the first time that I did it, they trying to send me to the penitentiary. So I'm like, this is the last time I'm doing it. I don't even do no Donald Trump jokes no more.
Like, he president, that's cool.
Let the man be. So but you wish that they'll be okay with that, because I've seen some Trevor Noah jokes about Cyril Ramaphosa from back in the day before he was even president, and when Zuma was president. You know, and so nothing ever happened. Even right here in the States, man, when Barack was president, even when George Bush was president.
Even right now with Trump, he still does jokes.
Exactly. So it is what it is, and people know what's going on. So we don't have to make jokes for people to be aware, but we want to do it so that people know that, hey, we can also sit and make it funny.
It's therapeutic.
You know, make it funny.
As a comedian, like, our job is to look at situations that are not funny, like that people are suffering, and find the funny and the humor in it. So when you take away that ability, it's like that's the last form of freedom, and I feel like comedy's under attack.
That's it.
And it's like, what? Come on.
So true. But I survived. I'm out here, and you know, I'm still doing shows, so I'm happy.
Yes, and speaking of you still doing shows, I mean, this recent trip to Zimbabwe, you sold out shows in South Africa. You sold out shows in Dubai. I mean, where Alfred goes, he sells out. But with this recent trip, there was one place where you didn't sell out.
Well, that was in my own home country, Zimbabwe. Yeah. And the tickets were cheap. I'm talking about $15 tickets, but everybody was crying. So yet again, it just lets you know that the situation is tough. The first time I went to Zim for a show was in 2017, and we sold out. So we just knew the follow-up was going to be. So we know the following is there. You know. And if I did 6 shows in South Africa, 3 in Cape Town, 3 in Johannesburg. They were all sold out. And the ones in Johannesburg, I was actually competing with Dave Chappelle, who was in the same vicinity, and he sold out his shows, and I sold out mine. I said, they know me. They know me too. You know, my name might not be that big, but it's big enough. You know, so it was a blessing. So I just know the reason why people didn't come to the show in Zimbabwe is because of just the economic situation. It's just tough right now. But I'll keep hope alive, and we'll keep going back.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like with how tough things are in Zimbabwe, we need the kind of joy and laughter that you bring. I mean, Sikiwa and I were at the show, and it was so from beginning to end.
Yeah.
You and your opening acts were like amazing.
Some
Like
very
the comedy pastor, I think he's hilarious. Comic pastor.
So I didn't want to say his name, but he's the guy that I did the skit with.
Oh.
Everybody knows. Everybody. Shout out to Comic Pastor. He's a soldier, man.
He's really good.
He is very resilient. He's still out there in Zim, still doing the skits.
Wow.
He ain't scared, and he said, "What they gonna do to me?" So keep it moving. I said, "You keep your stuff. I'm tougher skin,
So Alfred, it was nice of you to come back on the show and
Thank
share
you.
this bit of
Hold
stuff
on.
with us.
What
are you drinking anyway?
I don't know. Just orange juice.
Just a morning
just morning
drink,
coffee. That's what we're gonna call it.
Do you have any upcoming shows coming up that you want to announce?
My gosh, yes. In July, I'll be in Birmingham, the UK, at the Birmingham University. I think it's called Brummel Theatre.
Okay.
So there's a lot of Zimbabweans in the UK. I'm calling everybody to come out. There's a lot of Guyanans.
Guyanese.
Guyanese. Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, he was
Ghanaians, Guyanese. Okay. All right. Jamaican people. I did 2 shows in Jamaica this year.
my gosh.
Sold out Jamaica, So now every time I see a Jamaican, I feel like I can speak the language.
speak
Well,
it.
I'm gonna take my heart, check out that girl, John Rastafari. If you say that, you're in. All you gotta do is say whatever something that's incoherent and end it with John Rastafari.
Be like,
You're in.
And they be like, yeah, man, big up yourself.
when they're talking, honestly, I want to try and understand, but it goes so fast.
It does. And then when it does go so fast, they always end it with a question. You know, they say, "It's how I'm ready. Yeah, me know."
You just gotta smile and wave. You be like,
I always love. Yeah, I hear you now.
well, thank you so much for coming back, and
Thank
we
you.
wish you luck in Birmingham. Do you have any other shows coming up in Dallas?
Yes, May 9th, I'm going to be at the Arlington Improv. That's May 9th. And I'm going to be going to New York soon. So just follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I got a lot of shows. But yeah, big international shows going to be in the UK. We want to sell that place out. So it's going to be nice. So thank you guys for
Tell
having
people
me.
your handle so they can follow.
Yes. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and it's the same handle all across. It's Alfred Kainga, Alfred Kainga. I'm also on Plenty of Fish.
I got even closer. The segment.
Everybody needs love.
Yes, that's true.
So show them love on all platforms.
Not on Plenty of Fish. No, don't do that. Don't do that. There's a lot of barracudas on there. A lot of whales on there. Not Plenty of Fish.
Sometimes you're trying to close the segment and you can't close the segment.
I'm sorry. Let's wrap up. Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back.
All right, thank y'all so much. So I'm gonna do a one-on-one interview with Alfred.
Wow.
So, yes, two comedians. It's like, this is our own version of two comedians drinking mimosas and, and whatnot.
We'll drink to that.
All right. So like I said, thank you so much. Okay, first of all, what y'all don't know is that Alfred is the plug for me even being on this show. I met Alfred at a, do you remember how I met you?
It was at a comedy show, right?
Yeah.
In Arlington.
Yes.
At the Improv.
Yes.
What happened?
I was drunk. Okay, sorry. Just first of all.
Yeah, you loud.
You were casted for the Kevin Hart Heart of the City.
Yes.
And you had like what 20 comedians,
27 comedians,
competing, whatever. And there's
Yeah.
only 3 girls.
Yeah.
So I was in my feelings a little. I'm not gonna lie, I was in my feelings. I was like, really? You only know 3 funny girls in the whole Dallas to audition? And I was like, I know you don't know. I'm like, I know you didn't know me,
I
but
didn't know you then.
I know you didn't, but I was all in my bag. Like, I'm gonna go up to him after. I was drinking Hennessy, and I was all hyped because my friends were performing and killing it.
Yeah.
You know, Keelana, that's my girl. I was like, she killed it. Angela killed it.
She's gonna be on season 3 too. Keelana Spiller.
I know.
Out of the City with Kevin Hart.
And Keelana is so funny. I love her to death.
Yeah.
So I was at her show. I was like, I was hyping her up. I was like, Keelana killed it. And I was just like, hey, yo, Alfred. and he was just like,
I was kind of petrified.
and he was just like, hello, who are you? I was like, how come you didn't ask me to be on the show? Like, who are you? I'm like, you don't know me? I know I'm funny. I'm funny. That's who I am. And you were just like, oh, okay.
But it was that confidence though that I saw. I was like, hey, this girl got something. I said, I gotta see you on stage. I've never seen you on stage, you know.
Exactly.
But that was something else. And we've clicked since then.
Yep.
And we've done a couple of shows together.
Yeah, you had you had the Arlington show, like
The
what was
showcase.
it called? Something around the world or something. Something with world in it or something.
Gosh, worldwide.
Worldwide,
Yeah,
yeah.
worldwide comedy showcase.
So then you finally saw me perform
There
on
you
stage,
go,
and you were
there
like,
you
"Oh
go.
my God, you were
You're
amazing!"
funny.
I was like, "I told you." And then we've been friends ever since.
It's
So
been really cool.
Thank you so
It's been
much.
really cool.
Thank you for hitting me up with the Ndeipi MuDiaspora girls. I'm like,
And you're doing great.
Thank you.
You're doing really good, man. Everybody loves you. The girls are doing good. So this is a great show. I like it.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna need that money though. Can't just put you on nothing and then you don't, come on.
Yeah, that's on you. You should have got a contract.
See how black folks do?
That's how we do it. I'm like,
I'm so
oh.
like, nah, get that paper.
Nah, but for real, thank you so much. And then I saw you perform. I've seen you perform a lot of times, but
Right.
when I went to Cape Town, I was in
Yes.
South Africa,
Yes.
and I got to see you perform live. You killed it.
Yes,
You did an hour.
I did.
Oh my
I
gosh!
did. I
And the
did.
thing is, you were supposed to put me on, but the club owners were so
They were tough. They were really tough
shitty.
for no reason, because, here in America,
Right.
the culture is if the headliner is at a show and they know somebody who wants to get a guest spot,
Right.
all I gotta do is say, hey, I got my girl, Charmaine, she's funny, give her 5 minutes. And it's a done deal.
Right.
But in Cape Town, I did the same thing. So I wasn't really even tripping about it because I was like, oh yeah, definitely, you get in. We flew all the way from the States.
Right.
You in the same city. Let's link up. Come to the show, show them what you got
Right.
before I get on stage. And the manager was like, oh, heck no. We don't do that here. We don't know her. We've never seen her. I'm like, golly, but I know her.
Right.
And I've seen her. So if I give you my word, it should be good.
Right.
But it wasn't. And I was so disappointed about it. But you know what? Don't worry about it. We're going to go back
All right.
in a bigger place.
Y'all heard that?
Yes.
We're going back.
Bigger place, bigger budget, and you're going to be on.
Oh
You're
man,
funny.
I can't wait.
You're
Thank
funny.
you, thank
You're
you.
funny.
No, I had my jokes prepared and stuff. I was
Did
like,
you?
oh, I'm about to kill it.
What were you going to tell?
I was gonna talk about being I'm like a black Canadian, and people are
Yes.
all surprised. I was like, well, y'all know how this is. Y'all white Africans. I'm about to come there and cuss them out. I really wanted to go to Africa. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna cuss all these black people out because when the American slaves, when they took the slaves to America, y'all didn't come back for me.
Yeah.
And I saw the crowd. I said, you guys are want to capture them.
Yeah.
All
So the
white
crowd
people.
was predominantly white,
I
which was
know.
unbelievable. Yeah, it was about 99%
I
white folks,
know.
and the 1% was working.
Right.
The blacks.
Right. And I was just there damn, y'all just came to Africa and y'all stayed? Y'all didn't leave? And
They
y'all
love it.
kicked them out?
They love it. Yeah, don't get it twisted. That basically lets you know how beautiful and powerful Africa is.
Yeah, no,
you
it
know?
really is.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be there.
Exactly. So,
So it was
it was cool. It was cool, like I
Yeah.
said.
So from there, after those 3 shows that I did in Cape Town, I went to Johannesburg.
Okay, how was Johannesburg?
Johannesburg was great. It was amazing. And the first night I had found out in the same complex at the Mont Casino that Dave Chappelle was doing his show at the theater.
Were you a little intimidated? A little bit?
Extremely, because
Okay.
I was like, who's gonna compete with Dave
Right,
Chappelle?
right.
So my show probably gonna have 50 people. I'll be grateful if I have 50,
Right.
And then so the club calls me and says, yo, we are sold out. I'm like, you kidding me? That was about 3 p.m. And so we sold out Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So it was incredible. So I just had a good time. So, But I'm tired because I did a lot. I did about 10 countries,
Right, oh.
22 shows in 2018. This year I'm focusing in the States.
Okay.
Had a couple of international shows, but I'm not going out that much.
That's so good. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Well, thank you so much, Alfred. Like,
Thank you.
all I'm trying to say is that next time I want you to put me in like your suitcase or something like that.
got it.
I'm gonna go on
You don't
stage.
need no suitcase. You travel, but we'll put you on stage.
I got
You
your
come with
mouth.
me. Yes, let's do it.
All right. Thank y'all so much.
Thanks,
Appreciate
May.
you. Take care.
All right, bye.
All right, welcome back. We're doing hot topics. So we're talking about the motherland and Africa. So I have a question for you, a little controversial. Okay. Do you think that there is a difference between Africans and African Americans?
No. No difference.
Okay.
Black is black. That's me. That's my opinion.
Right.
Tell us more.
Right.
I mean, I have a daughter. She's born here. She's African American. I'm African. Her mother's African from Zimbabwe. Black is black. Have you seen any difference in our skin color?
But she's your child.
Keep it moving.
She ain't gonna have a different skin color.
I guess I tend to agree with Sneaky because it's like us as Africans or immigrants, we had to, I guess, go through colonialism and understand our parents going through colonialism and having that traced down. And then also being African American, you have African Americans and descendants of slaves kind of having the same effect. So we've, in essence, to me, feel like we've gone through the same things just on different continents.
That's right.
And in the end, we're the same, right? We suffer the same, we rejoice the same. There's so many similarities. You're cooking oxtail in Africa, they cook an oxtail. In the islands, we cook an oxtail down here. You know what I mean? Like there's so many blends of culture that, to me, we are one.
Yeah.
You know, I agree with that. And I think there's always that conversation where one group feels like the other group looks down on the other group, right? So like African Americans feel like Africans look down on them. There's that notion that we say like African Americans don't have culture and all this other stuff, but if you think about it, they do. I mean, they
a whole lot of culture.
Yeah, and they were forced to come here and adapt. And like Tinema was saying, they have struggles that our struggles are kind of like similar. You know, we parallel. They've fought for education and human rights and all of these things that we fought for in Africa as well to free ourselves from colonialism. So I feel like we have a lot of similarities. And in terms of culture, I mean, it's only natural that our cultures are going to differ because we're growing up and being exposed to different things at different times. But essentially, in terms of genetic makeup and whatnot, I mean, we are essentially the same. But also, I feel like African Americans maybe have also a wider variety in terms of genetic makeup because they've come from here and they've had, you know, they've been exposed to different races, culture.
When it comes to history, right? If you like go back, sometimes you don't find history. Like if you go back sometimes in Africa, you might not have your great-great-grandmother's picture.
Right.
But a lot of people have that. Like they, you know, we didn't have that, you know, but here there's a lot. I mean, their history is rich
yeah.
and, you know, our children, you know, are learning about it. If you go down the other way, you might not find that information. They'll be like, oh, we don't have that information. Like, what is your, like when you go to the doctor and they tell you, okay, family history.
Right. Yeah.
You might not know.
Right.
But over here, maybe if they look at some records, they'll be able to see. So, yeah, we're the same.
No, for me, so like, okay, first of all, like I'm from Canada, right? So I feel like coming to America was such a big difference. There's only like 5 black people in Canada.
second coming to America, by the way.
Oh yeah. there's like 5 black people in Canada. We gonna claim all y'all, okay? African, Caribbean, you know, descendant of slaves. You know, the Underground Railroad went there. Like we gonna take all y'all. So we like, no, we black. All 5 of us, we black. So here though, like the African Americans in America have such a strong history. Like, and they have a culture. There's a culture. First of all, African American history is American history because
Thank you.
that
It doesn't
came,
start with slavery.
Right, it doesn't start with there, but the way that Black people in general, every person, well, I don't care if you guys were in Africa, if you went to the Caribbean, so you're Afro-Caribbean, you know, a slave boat went this way, or a slave boat went that way, went to America, we're still the same people.
Right.
And that blood, that creativity, that black girl magic, that black boy joy, is just in our veins. So it's like, yeah, we are gonna be different, but we're from the same people. And we've had different and similar struggles, right? Whether it's colonialism or slavery, but throughout that, we were able to adapt and create it and find our own and find some joy. That's why we all like to dance and move. You can't tell me I ain't African. You can't tell me I ain't African.
Because the dances are they're like the same.
Right? Exactly. And like you said, the food and my hair, this is the telling. I was like, you African girl.
That's very true. But you know what I find sometimes is kind of sad. Like, is growing up in Zimbabwe, did you learn Zimbabwean history? Like deep Zimbabwean history?
My daughter has learned a lot of history though here.
Yeah,
She tells me
like
something like
American history, is like taught and it's like really like,
Those are
Yeah,
pops.
well, I would say this because I mean, I did basically grow up in America. There is American history, then you go maybe wherever state you're in, you do Texas history, but sometimes it's revisionist history, but sometimes it's obviously glossed over. Certain things are glossed over, and not, you'll read about the Civil War and they'll go into depth about the Civil War, but there's other things that they leave out or gloss over.
Well, movies like Black Panther are really important because they kind of help bridge that gap a little bit. There were a lot more African Americans who felt like, yes, that's us, we're being represented. Africans felt the same way. They speak what Ndebele or Zulu in there, and they show a lot of like African tribes and whatnot. So I appreciate movies that kind of like help, or movements. I can't even say Black Panther was just a movie. It was like a movement. It was just like this wave of like pride.
Oh, and that's great because I feel like a lot of times, like there was a couple of like African people like when I was growing up, and like sometimes people make fun of them like a lot. You know what I mean? So like the way you were talking about like like we were like, oh, like you ever heard like African booty scratcher?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
honestly,
That was like a term.
I don't even know what that means, but I just know that term. Like you be like, shut up, you African booty scratcher.
Yeah.
Like what? I thought it was booby scratcher, but I thought it was booty scratcher, and I was like, I still don't get it. Like, but I was like a diss.
Well, yeah, there was
You know
all
what I mean?
throughout elementary school.
Right, and people like some people that were African didn't want no one to know they were African. They would be like, "Nah, I'm Jamaican." Like that is not a Jamaican accent. Okay, like, okay, but your parents, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to say, but like, and like I know this one girl, Shamina. She used to wear like kente cloth. Like she's like whatever. She had dreads. She had like a little like, and we were just like, whoa. You know, I remember like it was kind of like whoa, but now like you don't see like everyone is trying it. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like it took like a lot of years, but I feel like it's kind of like now we're one people. We're one people from one like nation originally, and I'm just so happy that we're finally coming together. And that's kind of you know what I mean?
Like I'll tell you one thing, when Barack Obama won his presidency, girl, I don't think there was a country on the continent of Africa that was not celebrating. I mean, it brought, I don't even know if people know the wave that it brought, but it brought a hope all over the world.
Yes.
And this was an American president. Everybody's Africa is just saying, we have hope.
We all claimed him.
Oh yeah, we have me too.
My president is black. It's like you don't have a president, you have a prime minister now, but he's still black.
Yeah. No, awesome. Thanks, ladies, for sharing. And, I guess with this segment, we know that Black is beautiful. No matter if you're from here, from there, it's still beautiful. It's something that we should take pride and joy in, and make sure that you see us here. We're not the only ones representing Black Girl Magic. There's other girls out there representing and doing their thing. And even, like you said, Charmaine, Black Boy Joy, out there doing their thing. So it's just something to keep in mind. When you see each other, just know we're together.
That's right.
All right, see you next time on Ndeipi Diaspora.